Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today I've got another top 10 for you. Here's the top 10 tips for beginners that you might not know. Now, a lot of these are pretty basic and you kind of should know them if you play Dark a bit, but some aren't so much. So it is worth watching anyway. And if you do have any more suggestions for the top 10, obviously put it in the comments and hit the subscribe button and hit the like button. And without further ado, let's get into the video. Now first up we have the note run. Now shown on screen are different notes in West Zone 2. If you want to start off with a note run, you mainly start off in West Zone 2 on the island. The islands is really only one with a good note run, but other maps have it as well, like Extinction. Now if you didn't know, a note gives you 2x, some of you give you 4x XP, which allows you to level up quickly and create a character quickly so you can gather to the next level. Now more experienced players should know this. And it's pretty easy. All you have to do is search up a YouTube note run and just follow it. And if as long as you don't die, you'll gather as many levels to get to around level 60 if you complete a good one. And that gets you off to a better start. Now at number 9 we have Tame A Flyer as soon as possible. Now this you should know, unless you've kind of just started playing the game. When taming a flyer, it can take you mainly everywhere on the map, as long as it has decent enough stamina, and it can get you out of bad situations. Especially in PvP, if you want to get to a base location as quick as possible, this is the best way to do so. Now the PT is probably the first one you want to tame if you're on the island on your basic map. All you need to do is knock it out, have one baller, then knock it out with whatever you have, darts, tranks, or even a club if it's low enough level, and tame it. The saddle only takes keratin or chitin, fibre and hide, and it's not too hard to gather. As you can see, as long as you don't use pheromone darts, which I use here, you should be able to knock it out pretty decently. The PT is also quite quicker than most of the flyers like the RG, and it can get you around the map pretty easily, and it can pick up medium to small tames and other players. Now at number 8 we have Tame A DungBeetle. Now if you didn't know, a DungBeetle, if you leave it on wandering, can create fertilizer. All a DungBeetle takes is a certain amount of feces in your last infantry slot, and it's a passive tame and you will tame it. When it's tamed you then put whatever poo or feces you find, stick it into the beetle and leave it on wandering, and it will create fertilizer for you. It turns this poo into fertilizer, which also leads on to more things like planting crops, making kibble and furthermore. And also, if you want a PvP aspect, plant species X needs fertilizer to grow and shoot, so that's also a good aspect. The more dung beetles you have, the more fertilizer you can make, but you do have to keep topping them up. They also do make a small amount of oil, but only a small amount. Now number 7 we have Kibble. Now Kibble is, well, you're going to need it in Ark, especially for the better teams, and if you're not on increased rates. Kibble's pretty easy. It used to be harder if you're an old school player, but they made it easier now. You've got basic, regular, simple, superior, extraordinary, and further kibble. Now the Dodo, for example, make basic kibble, and the Shrandon only needs regular kibble to be tamed. And say you have a Giga, that'll need the best kibble possible. Now different eggs make different kibble. For example, a Giga egg might give you extraordinary kibble, which allows you to tame other things. Now next up we have cooked meat. Now you should really know this, but if you don't, you might be quite new to the game. Cooked meat actually heals you. It's a really good way of healing you. Also, if you don't have cooked meat, obviously you've got med brews and other stuff like that, which allows you to heal. But one downside of cooked meat is it won't actually heal you if you are full on hunger. You need to be a little bit hungry to actually heal. Now at number 5 we have leveling, specifically leveling movement. Now if you are quite new, I see a lot of players that are quite slow, but what you need to do is put more C levels into movement, especially if you're playing PvP. And in PvE, it helps you in more situations. Get around 160 to 180 movement speed, which allows you to outpace most dinos, or if any, every single dino on the Ark. If you have really low movement, you're most likely just going to get eaten or chased down by something quicker. For example here, obviously a Ferrozino is quite quick, but if you have a decent amount of movement you can easily get away from it. And also if you have parachutes, it also allows you to go further when parachuting and getting around the map. While having good movement, it allows you to not waste as much stamina as well. Obviously you can level stamina, but the quicker you are, the less you're going to have to regen stamina. Now at number 4 we have Stimberrys, which is also to do with stamina. Obviously they stop you from knocking out, but what people don't know is actually that they increase your stamina. If you're really low on health or water, it means that your stamina won't regen as much, and you're going to probably get chased down by something and die. But if you have Stimberrys in your hotbar, it will regen it straight away, even if you have a low health or water. The only downside of Stimberrys is it kind of lowers your water a bit, but they are easy to gather. You just gather them from bushes and stuff like that, and you get a pretty decent amount. Now we have number 3, which is God mode. Now, it's surprising how many people don't know this. They're experienced as well. All you need to do is press tab on PC and write GCM. On controller, you just get the admin command up and you type GCM. When you do this, you get a gun that has different things like teleport, inspect, where you can look at the health of creatures around you, and you have an instant kill weapon as well by right clicking. As well as this, it also allows you to fly around the map at ease, at rapid movements as well. This makes just flying around in single player much easier. Obviously you can only do this in single player, but that was pretty obvious. As well as this, you can craft anything that can be crafted in anything. So if you want to check out a build or something before you want to build it on a multiplayer server, you can build it on here. Build it on single player in God mode and you can do stuff. And also there's a few things that aren't actually on multiplayer, which are just on single player, like the rover and this tech sail, which are pretty cool, and you can just mess around with different things. Like this tech rover isn't properly finished, you can tell with its turning and stuff, but it is pretty quick and decent and fun to mess around with. Now at number 2 we have parachutes and Bolas. Now this is a pretty basic one, but it's probably most important. If you have parachutes and Bolas, you can get out of most situations. Parachutes just allows you to get away from stuff and move around the map much easier. Parachutes are pretty easy to make. All you need is hide, thatch and fibre, and you can have as many parachutes as you want. As well as these Bolas are good because you can ball on most medium tames and get out of every situation. It also helps you tame medium tames as well. Now finally we have the upload. Now this is really important, especially if you're single player or you want to protect something. On multiplayer you can upload stuff into the upload, which allows it to stay there and no one else can access it for at least 24 hours. Now if you don't get your stuff back before the timer, it might change or differ on the server, then it will disappear. But only you can access this and no one else can. You can even upload your creatures and your tames to protect them overnight, and you can upload your character as well. By doing this, obviously you're protected and you can't get rid of it overnight or you can't lose anything, and it's pretty important to keep it there, but as long as you get it back before the timer ends. But that is where I'm going to leave the video today. If you did enjoy, obviously hit the subscribe button, comment down below and hit the like button, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.